Hello and welcome to Superpants Gaming. Thank you so much for joining me today for this next episode of CollectXbox, where I build a highly curated set of original Xbox games that I can love and cherish forever. So as I said in the last video, I was going to clear down this cube in the top here. I've moved the Xbox One games from the top down to here. I've had a little bit of a sort out, and this whole cube now is for the original Xbox. I've opted to go with a little shelf in the middle because I kind of thought that sort of looked best when I'd sort of messed around with it. And yes, there are, I believe, 12 spaces left on the shelves there that I could basically fit 12 more games in for the original Xbox. And we still have 10 on the list that we're going to be ticking some off of today. And hopefully the 12 spaces will be enough, but I think that's probably going to be an issue for the next episode, not this one. So I'm going to start today. The first one is a little bit of an apology, to be honest. I've been holding on to this for about 6 to 8 weeks. And I missed it off the last video because when I get a lot of pickups, I turn some of the cases like that way around on my in-shelf, and I'd stacked the other 360 games on top from when I got all the 360 games in one of my latest pickups sort of thing. It was only when I edited the last episode of CollectXbox, I thought to myself, where's Deus Ex gone? Because I picked up Deus Ex Invisible War and a CEX ages ago. And it should have been part of the other video. And yes, so this one very belatedly is being added now. It is in absolutely immaculate condition. It's absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So it's even still got a little bit of the original seal on the side there, which I've sort of left on for now. But but yeah, this is in gorgeous condition. I can't remember which CEX it is that I got it from because it was a couple of months ago, I reckon. So yeah, there you go. But Deus Ex Invisible War getting ticked off of a CollectXbox. Yeah, so now I've got a second apology, and that is that there won't be any B-roll over this. There's a reason for that. I had quite a big session on the Xbox like last week, and after I have a big session on sort of consoles, a lot of the time, I'll sort of check that they're sort of warm and they're blowing out warm air and that like at the end of the session. I did that with the Xbox and the air was surprisingly cool. I would say that it was blowing out, and it's kind of spooked me, and it spooked me into thinking that it probably needs new thermal paste because, you know, the Xbox that I've got is 20 years old. It doesn't look like it's anyone's been in it before sort of thing, so it's probably still running the original thermal paste or thermal pad or whatever it would have been on the original system, which has probably turned to sand by now. So the second pickup isn't actually an Xbox game, it's Thermal Compound, and we've gone with Arctic MX6, which I believe is probably massively overkill for an original Xbox, but I've got 4 grams of it and I can use that on a couple of other things as well. So yeah, there you go. So anyone that doesn't understand what I'm on about, basically the CPU and GPU and stuff in the Xbox will get very hot when it's being used, and there's like a thin sort of thermal layer which takes the heat from the processor and stuff and pushes it into the heatsink, and then there's a fan that blows cool air through that, and it sort of blows the hot air out and sort of keeps the chip cool sort of thing. If the thermal compound in between the heatsink and the chip is sort of old and sort of degrades, it won't be taking the heat off the chip, and therefore it will blow out cold air instead of hot air, if that kind of makes sense. That's a very sort of rough way of saying it, but I think you'll probably sort of get the idea. But I'm not going to film doing that, to be totally honest, because there are loads of channels on the internet, on YouTube and stuff, that do exactly what I'm going to be doing and probably do it a lot better than I do it, and probably explain it a lot better than I do, because, you know, I haven't done this on many consoles before, but I've certainly never done it on an original Xbox. So fingers crossed that all goes all right, and I'm not sat here in the next episode of CollectXbox saying I broke my Xbox. That would be a disaster. But I think I've got it nailed. So yes. So second pickup for this video is some Thermal Compound. That obviously won't be staying there. And then we are going to get onto the eBay packages. I've got a couple more from CEX, but I'll save them for in a minute. And I will say one of these is going to be a little bit sketchy. I've got 3 for you. And I probably should have checked beforehand which one it is, but wait, that's got a manual. That hasn't. That's the sketchy one, okay? Sketchy because I've made it sketchy, if that makes sense. It was my choice that it was sketchy. Yeah, it's got a manual. So yeah, it's definitely that one. Okay. So first we're going to open this little one. And I've been sort of busy on eBay for the last couple of weeks, really. I've picked a few bits up, and I kind of just wanted to get a few of the Collectbox games in. I wanted to get another episode up, and I just kind of want to get through the collection. I'm really enjoying picking them up and stuff, so there you go. And this game in here, now, I took a bit of a punt. Now, this only just made it onto the list for Collectbox, and I'm not 100% sure that I'm going to like this game, to be totally honest. So I put 2 on my watch list. There was a complete one, and then there was this one. Now this is disc only, but it's in a case, if that makes sense, but a case without a sleeve. Yep, which is what we've got here. So just show that over there. And yeah, and that game is still life. So I'm just going to have a little look at the disc. But basically, I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like this. And the seller offered me this. So, oh, that's quite nice, actually. Yep, not too bad at all, that. Okay, pleased with that. It's a good disc. So, the seller offered me that for about £4. I had 2 on my want list at the time. That was £4. The other one was £16. The seller sent an offer through for about £16. And I thought, do I want to spend 16 quid on a game that I don't know if I'm going to like? And I was like, and the cheap, the cheap side of me said, right, buy the disc only. If I buy the disc only, if it's a really good game, when I play it, I can either move the disc only one on, give it to someone, say, here, try this, it's a good game, or stick it into my spares or something and like buy a complete copy, or I can keep an eye for a sleeve and a manual for this and make it complete, which I did for Death Row, if you remember. So yeah, but for £4 just for the disc, I thought that was kind of really good. And at least then I get to try it on original hardware as it's meant to be played. And yeah, I will get to sort of make my mind up about this, because this only just made the list. Because this is like a point and click game, like sort of detective, trying to sort of, I think it's like a serial killer case type detective point and click thing. Looks quite dark, a little bit different from everything else. That's why it made the list. But I almost took it off a couple of months ago, because I'm not sure. So we will see about that. And if it's rubbish, I've only wasted £4, because I'm really not quite sure what to expect with that. So yeah, but that was the sketchy one, and that's actually turned up all right. I'm pleased the disc's good on that, because I was a bit worried the disc might be a bit rough. Not sure whether we should be pushing this one in, but there we go. And then I've got these 2 others. Now, one's a cheapy-ish one, and one's a little bit more. Now, I don't know which one's which, so I ordered all these about at the same time, so they all sort of turned up within a day or 2 of each other. So how am I going to get into this? I don't know. So this is terrible. Is that? Oh, that's it. That works. Yep. And this is the more expensive one of the 2. Yep, sorry about this. I haven't thought this through very well. I keep almost knocking the mic, so apologies if I do knock the mic and I don't realise. And that is Raises Hell. And this I've been trying to get a copy of for ages. And yeah, as you guys know, that's a nice first impression for that. That is a nice first impression. And this was another one that the seller sent me an offer through for on eBay. And yeah, that's pretty good. That is good. I am pleased with that. Yep, there we go. Nice complete copy of Raises Hell going into Collectbox, getting ticked off the list. I am not pleased with that. So I'm not quite sure what to expect with this, to be honest, either. But I had a little look over it, and it just kind of looks fun. Which means I know what this last one is. And yeah, this is a game that I used to own. I've got some scissors there. Let's use them. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing, can you? Yeah, I should have probably positioned this a bit better. And there we go. That looks nice. Hitman Blood Money. Now, I've had this before, and yeah, this is a good game. This will be getting played all the way through at some point, because I remember really enjoying it. So just have a little look at the disc. And that is spotless. Yeah, that one is absolutely spotless. Doesn't even look like it's been cleaned. Yeah, that's a really, really nice disc. That's nice. I like that. And another nice complete copy. Yes, I knew they were complete. I'd seen pictures sort of thing. These did have sort of proper pictures, but you never really know what you're getting with a disc, to be honest. I've been let down in the past with that. But these are a bit, yeah, spot on, all three. Yes, so yeah, Hitman Blood Money, I know you can get that on loads of other things, but with getting the other couple of Hitman games on Xbox, I kind of wanted to get it on the Xbox. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and that will be a lot of fun, because I've played through this before. I think on PS2. I may have played it on 360 as well. I'm not sure. But yeah. There you go. Hitman Blood Money getting ticked off. So, those of you who are keeping count know we only have 6 games left, I think, now on Xbox, if my calculations are correct. And I've been busy in CEX again. And I went into CEX. I think we actually got a bit of footage because I'm a sensible adult with me, so there'll be a little bit of footage of me picking these up. Yeah, so the first one is a nice copy of House of the Dead 3. And yeah, I don't think I've ever played House of the Dead 3, so this will be a lot of fun. And this was quite a recent one, so I've not actually had a chance to test this or play this yet, but yeah, this is in really, really nice condition as well. And yeah, so that was an awesome little pickup. I'm mad pleased to get that. We are down to 5 games. I've got one more for you now. I'm going to say straight off, I've gone off list again. But you knew that was going to happen at some point, yeah? But we've only got 2 spaces off list. This is one of them, okay? This is a game I didn't even know it was on the Xbox. And I'm sorry about that, but it's like every day is a school day, I would say. And yeah, completely that. Roller Coaster Tycoon. I had no idea this was on the OG Xbox. I don't know how I missed that off. This would have been on the list 100% if I'd have known that it was actually on the OG Xbox. And yeah, I just saw it sat there on the shelf and I was like, no way. I was like, that's the actual Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's, oh, yeah. I played this back in the day, like sort of on PC and stuff. And yeah, this, oh, yeah, this is like a little nostalgia buzz for me. And this will be absolutely amazing. And this is in gorgeous condition as well. And yeah, this was £6. So yeah. So I think the question has to be, will I run out of room before I finish Xbox? Will I overbuy games in the next month so they don't fit on the shelf? So I've had a little move around and we have one gap left up here. We have one gap here, one gap here, and space for 3 down here in this bottom corner. And that is it. So 6 spaces, 5 games left to go on Xbox. Can we get it done? Let's hope so.